Yo, what's up, fellas? Welcome into LARP Hammer 40K. This is a comprehensive guide to how to LARP as a Warhammer 40K fan. So I know, engaging with media and shit is it's pretty difficult. So here's how you can fake it. So, all right, starting off, why would you want to LARP as a Warhammer fan? Well, the lore is like it's basically like hella deep. So if you get into it, or people think you get into it, people are gonna think you're smart, maybe. So it's like edgy and shit. They're like the people are like racist to the aliens. So if people think you're into it, they're gonna think you're like based and red pilled and whatnot. People might think you go to the gym. There's a equally good chance people just think you're a fat fuck. I guess people wouldn't really think they would either know you either are or you aren't. But if you LARP correctly, you might give off the impression that you go to the gym. And finally, it's niche enough to be considered. It's kind of cool, at least in America. So how to LARP. So this is the basics. This is like basic, like what you need to know about the setting. So the Imperium are like super evil for no reason. They have no motivations. They all look like this. It consists entirely of Space Marines and 20 Cadian soldiers. So that's what you need to know about the Imperium. Tau, they're the lay heckin' good guys. So you can see them here. You are gonna need to goon to spank the monkey to Tau hentai. You're gonna need to do that a lot if you want people to think you're legit. So yeah, those are the Tau for you. And the orcs, they're funny comic relief. Nothing else. They say why, they spell shit wrong. What you gotta know. Just comment why you see something about orcs, and yeah, you'll sell the LARP pretty good. But basically, the most important thing about like the general setting, just ignore all the other factions. Okay, real Warhammer fans, they only care about Space Marines and Space Marine, related plots and all that. So that's pretty important. So speaking of Space Marines, Space Marine knowledge. This is what you gotta know about all the chapters. That are important. So basically, the Ultramarines, they're like the best ones. You can see them here. They're blue. Uh, that's their deal. They're the good ones. Space Wolves are furry. They're furries. I mean, nothing more to be said there. Black Templars. That's these guys. These are your Tradcath, Deus Vault. What's that guy's name? Sabaton listeners. Yeah, they're lay heckin' based, so they're pretty cool. Salamanders, they're like wholesome 100 pretty much. Um, yeah, they rescue kittens. They save people. They're good guys and they help people. And apparently they like melted an Eldar orphanage, but that happened in a happened in a book, so it doesn't count. Yeah, Codex Astartes doesn't support this action. It's very funny. You drop that everywhere. All right, so you know the basics about the setting and all that, but what if someone starts drilling in your shit about the lore? So, uh, this is how you LARP as someone who knows the lore. So basically, the Horus Heresy, it's like an 84 book long series. It's like longer than the Bible or something. It boils down to daddy issues. That's it. You can just say daddy issues, and that's what like 90% of the fans know about it. So you'll be able to LARP pretty easily there. Imperium ideology, they're just like lay heckin' racist, and they yell for the emperor. That's pretty much it. Chaos is like a force of nature or something, and it's not inherently good or bad. You know who is bad though? Slanesh, this the purple one. She's like a bad bitch, and Nurgle is nice. That's what you gotta know. Ignore that little fucker in the middle. We'll get to that whole group later. So there's a race called the Eldar. Um, Yvraine is apparently one of them. She's Gilliman's girlfriend. All right, so like how to LARP, how to like this is the conduct, this is like what you want to do to convince people that you're real shit. You're like a real fan. So YouTube Shorts, you're gonna get your lore, all your information about the IP itself, like what's happening, like news and shit. You're gonna want to get that exclusively from YouTube Shorts. Okay, real Warhammer fans, they never engage with any source material whatsoever. Okay, they just like ideally, AI slop. You want to consume as much of that as possible in order to to send to people thinking you're a real Warhammer fan. For guard regiments, you're gonna say your favorite is the Death Corps of Krieg. Now, why would these fellows be your favorite? Well, you notice how he's got a gas mask on. So if someone asks you why, you're just gonna say happy gas mask noises. I think whoever said that was just retarded at first, but apparently, yeah. Then you're gonna want to say something about shovels. Fighting with shovels. Just make a bunch of shovel jokes, happy gas mask noises, all that. And yeah, the less funny you are with this, the better. The more convincing your LARP will be. So moving on. So you see these gifs. You see, yeah, he's got the laser eyes. You see, the Space King's a big. You want to get into Space King, well, you want to at least watch Hate Monger funny moments compilation at the very least. That's kind of a side tangent, but like you see these gifs, whenever you see someone engaging with anything chaos related, you see someone like painting a cool Death Guard mini, or you see someone drawing like Azek Armin fan art. Like one time on the gram, I saw this guy with a World Eaters helmet. He's going fucking nuts at the gym, hitting like 4 plates. I was like, God damn. So what I did, what all the other Warhammer LARPers, and I mean real fans, they just spam these gifs. All right, spam these gifs is the long and short of it. Spam them till fucking Warhammer 50k. All right, spam these gifs. Spam them until there's absolutely no chance anyone on the planet could find them funny. Because I guarantee the joke will never be stale. Just keep spamming these gifs till the end of time. Alright, so for the tabletop, Warhammer started off as like a tabletop war game. So basically, you don't want to engage with this aspect of the hobby at all. If you see someone painting a mini, however, you are going to want to comment, thin your paints, and continue scrolling. That's the long and short of it. So I talked a little bit about this earlier, but gooning. So you want to spank your monkey to thirst trap cosplayers. They're basically just like naked, and we're talking Sisters of Battle, Tech Priest. That's it. That's all they do. Really, just the less tasteful, the better. And also Tau hentai. That's not here, but you want to crank the hog to that for sure. So this is what you don't want to do. This is LARPing no-goes. All right, this will blow your cover if you do any of these things I'm about to list. So starting off, so there's actually this thing called Warhammer Fantasy. It's like Warhammer, but without the Space Marines. So never engage with anything, Warhammer Fantasy or Age of Sigmar, like anything at any point in time. A good rule of thumb I have, if you don't see a Space Marine within 3 to 4 seconds of opening a video, just immediately click off. If you're feeling really brave, you can comment yes under a Warhammer Fantasy video to show people that you're like knowledgeable and shit, but don't go any further than that. All right, there's no Space Marines, there's no point. All right, second thing, no thinking. All right, you never ever want to think critically about Warhammer, like the characters, their motivations, what have you, or like the setting, like the themes of the setting, whatnot. Like the role religion plays in state building, or like the cyclical nature of empires with the Eldar and the humans and stuff. You don't want to do that. You don't want to think about Warhammer as like an art piece and like the culture that created it, because it's a British IP from the 80s, and it's about a galactic superpower that's kind of fallen off and is in decline. Real Warhammer fans know that the meat and potatoes, all right, what you really want to focus on is the aura and hype moments. So that's your Brazilian funk edits, using the same like 10 clips from the Astartes web series and the Amazon Prime thing. You're just gonna want to watch those. That's really what you want to do. All right, so this, I'm not, viewer discretion advised, whatever. This is gonna be frightening. So just kind of hold my hand. Hold my hand. I'm holding it out. In the thing. Just take a deep breath. All right. I'll try and make this quick, but Long and short of it, if you get nothing else from this video, all right, you want to LARP as a Warhammer fan, pay attention, all right? Never, ever, under any circumstances, read a book. Whether it's a comic book, okay, about like the Guard or something, or a Horus Heresy novel, no, none of that, all right? Goretrek and Felix, absolutely not, no. Don't be reading the Infinite and Divine. All right, I don't give a fuck what those gay robots are doing. I don't care. Okay, Caiaphas Kane. Caiaphas who? Caiaphas who? If Adeptus Ridiculous doesn't make a video about it, it didn't. It didn't fucking happen. All right. God, it just if you so much as download, I don't want to I can't overstate this. If you so much as download the PDF to a Warhammer short story, the gates of LARP Gartha will shut on your face forever, and you'll have to actually engage with the IP and the setting and all that. So yeah, don't read ever. Don't read anything. All right, so moving on from that, if you followed my guide correctly, everyone will think you're a fat fuck, and you have successfully LARPed as a Warhammer fan. Congratulations.